Good evening. I am Deoladwin and I've been your teacher for a while. Don't forget that I said I am a teacher, I am a content writer, I am a spoken artist, I am a writer, I'm a poet, and I am a social media manager. I do a lot of things, don't mind me. So today we'll be talking about how to write oral stories. Well, we first have to consider what oral stories deals with. Then we are going to say is a type of genre that taps into the emotions of fears. Uh, for instance, many of us have watched movies that vampire movies, movies that actually make us scared or make us cry or make us want to run away. So those are the type of movies that are categorized under horror. Now, writing stories or reading books that has to do with those supernatural entities that I mentioned earlier, like vampires, like ghosts, like demons, and all of that. So, the main subjects or the main characters that a writer should include in horror stories are, for example, demons, ghosts, witches, death, afterlife, and all of that. Those are actually the main basics, the main subjects of horror stories. Now let's go to the components of a good horror story. Now we have fear. A good horror story must be able to group the fear of its readers. Then we have surprise. Yes, a good horror story must be able to create suspense and surprise to the readers, and then it must be able to terrorize. It must create terror. Now let's go to the tips of writing horror stories. Number one, we have do your own research. A good reader, a good teacher, a good reader, yes, is a good writer. There is nobody who is an island of knowledge. If you want to write good oral, you must be able to read oral stories. You read and read and read. By then, you are being exposed to different ways and different creative ways that you can use by reading different works of different authors. You know, we are creative in our own ways, and then reading cre- different stories from different creative authors can expose you to a lot of good ways to writing oral. Now let's go to number two. We have tap into your own fears and use the experience. Now, at a point in our lives, we all have fears of failure, fears of the unknown, fears of a lot of things. Now, tap into your fear, tap into how you felt when you had that fear, and be able to wear that feeling into your character so that your readers can easily understand. Now let's talk about the types of fears that we have. We have instinctive fears. We have monsters and supernatural entities. We have societal tension and what have you. Now let's go to the next tip. We have use your own imaginations. It does not just end about reading, it does not just end about using your own experience. You must also be able to create an imagination of yourself based on your experience so that your readers can tap into your message appropriately. Now let's go to the next one. We have put your characters into compelling dangers. Now, your readers will not be able to understand the message you're trying to pass across if you do not sense a feeling of fear, a feeling of danger in your character. That's what actually, that's the basis of oral writing, fear. And there can be no fear if there is no danger at hand. So now let's use your characters to create a fear that your audience can feel. For example, I can imagine, okay, the two fourth group of people, they were going on a vacation, and then all of a sudden their car broke down, and then they were trying to fix it. The night came, and in the bid of looking for where to put their head, they slept in the car, and in the middle of the night, dangerous creatures, ghosts, witches appear to them and were terrorizing them. And all of that. Now, you are trying to, your characters, the characters in that storyline are in a danger into the hands of supernatural entities in which you have created. And then these supernatural entities, so that your readers can easily connect with it, you have to use your imagination in creating a scary creature. Now let's go to the other one. We have let your readers experience the stakes. Now we're talking about stakes. What are we talking about here? We're talking about a means of survivor protecting loved ones. Now I mentioned people who were in danger in the hand of supernatural entities. Now they want to escape. That is a means of what? Of survivor. Or let's take another one. We have somebody living in a dilapidated house, or a long abandoned house. Just went there and the door was just closed, and then, or possibly an environment where all of a sudden this creature just came up and trying to terrorize everybody. Now people are trying to protect their loved ones. Oh, let me cite this example. I watched the movie. The movie was about uh yes, it's an horror movie. It was about an hospital people go to, and then in the night there are these creatures that come to take children away. Now they had to hire a night watchman. Now this night watchman is in a position of protecting people who are loved ones to him. Now that's an example of letting your readers experience a stake. Now I have mentioned some points. The first one I said you have to do your research, you have to read more orals. Then I said tap into your own fears. I also mentioned use your own imaginations. I talked about putting your characters into compelling dangers. I talked about letting your readers experience stakes, and I explained what stakes actually mean. Now in the next class we are going to be talking about an entirely different message. And till then I am Midi Oladoyin. And please do not forget to follow our handles, our social media handles, itoowrite on Facebook, itoowrite on Twitter, and all other handles will be passed across to you. And till then, always enjoy writing.